Have you ever looked at a luxury ad and felt something shift inside you? Not inspiration, not admiration, something quieter. Like maybe you're not enough. That feeling? That's not an accident. You're not buying luxury, you're buying insecurity. And I can prove it. When I started analysing luxury advertising, I expected creativity, different styles, different strategies, different messages. I was wrong. Rolex, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Ferrari, different products, same psychological structure. They don't sell watches, they don't sell bags, they don't sell cars. They sell a version of you that feels just slightly out of reach. I analysed 500 luxury ads. 89% use the exact same 3 psychological triggers. Once you see the pattern, you'll never unsee it. Let me show you the first one. Number 1, the "you're not good enough yet" tactic. Let me tell you something most luxury brands will never admit. Their entire business model depends on making you feel inadequate. I'm serious. When I analysed these 500 ads, 447 of them used what psychologists call aspirational inadequacy. They show you a version of yourself that doesn't exist yet. Here's how it works. A Rolex ad doesn't just show you a watch. It shows a confident executive closing $1 million deal, checking his Submariner as he steps onto a yacht. The message? This is who you could be if only you had this watch. Cartier does this masterfully. Their L'Odyssée de Cartier campaign literally takes you on a journey from ordinary to extraordinary, with their jewelry as the vehicle. The panther, their symbol, doesn't just wear Cartier, it becomes powerful because of Cartier. You know what's crazy? This tactic traces back to a 1920s marketing genius named Edward Bernays. He convinced women to smoke cigarettes by calling them torches of freedom. Not about the product, about the identity. Key insight. Luxury brands aren't selling objects, they're selling the person you're afraid you're not. But here's where it gets even more manipulative. Number 2, the manufactured scarcity illusion. Only 500 pieces worldwide, limited edition, exclusive to select boutiques. Sound familiar? Here's what shocked me. 73% of the ads I studied emphasized scarcity or exclusivity, even when the products weren't actually that rare. I'm talking about brands producing tens of thousands of units, but making you feel like you're one of the chosen few. Let me give you a real example. Hermès and their infamous Birkin bag. There's this whole mythology about waiting lists, special relationships with sales associates, being worthy of purchasing one. But here's the truth. Hermès produced approximately 120,000 Birkin bags in 2022 alone. That's not rare, that's strategic scarcity. Louis Vuitton does something even more brilliant. They'll release a limited collaboration with a streetwear brand, create massive hype, produce way more units than they claim, and still have lines around the block. Why? Because our brains are hardwired to want what we think we can't have. The psychology here is called reactance theory. When we perceive something as scarce or forbidden, our desire for it skyrockets. It's the same reason telling a teenager not to do something makes them want to do it more. And honestly, sometimes I laugh at how obvious it is. A Ferrari ad will literally say, "Not everyone can own one," while showing you exactly how to buy one. The contradiction is the point. But wait, there's something even more insidious they're doing. Quick thing before we get to the third tactic. If you're finding this eye-opening, do me a favor and smash that like button. It genuinely helps more people discover how luxury marketing actually works. And subscribe, because I've got some wild revelations coming in future videos. Hit that bell so you don't miss them. Alright, now let me blow your mind with tactic number 3. Number 3, the heritage mythology machine. This one is everywhere. And once you see it, you'll notice it in 89% of luxury ads. Every luxury brand has a story. Not just any story, a carefully crafted mythology that makes their product feel like a piece of history you can own. And I found that 463 out of 500 ads referenced heritage, tradition, craftsmanship, or legacy in some way. Here's how deep this goes. Patek Philippe's famous tagline is, "You never actually own a Patek Philippe, you merely look after it for the next generation." Brilliant, right? They're not selling you a watch, they're making you a custodian of history, a link in an eternal chain. I analysed the Burberry campaign that spent 90 seconds of a 120-second ad showing artisans hand-stitching trench coats the same way we have since 1856. The actual product? On screen for maybe 15 seconds, because the story is the product. But here's what made me laugh. I cross-referenced these heritage claims with actual company histories. Many luxury brands have been bought, sold, shut down, and resurrected multiple times. The unbroken tradition is often, let's say, creatively interpreted. Gucci, for example, went bankrupt in the 1980s, was bought by investors, and completely reinvented itself. But their ads? Pure Italian heritage since 1921, baby. The psychological trigger. We trust old things. Ancient equals authentic equals valuable, even if it's not actually that ancient. The real question is, does it even matter if these stories are embellished? Because the emotional impact is real. When you wear that Omega Speedmaster Moon watch, you feel connected to the Apollo missions, even though your watch was made last year in Switzerland, not in 1969. Let's be honest, we're not buying products. We're buying feelings, status, and stories we can tell ourselves.
So here's what we've uncovered.
Luxury brands make you feel inadequate, so you'll chase an aspirational identity. They create artificial scarcity to trigger your fear of missing out. And they wrap everything in heritage mythology to make you feel like you're buying a piece of history instead of just stuff. Here's my question for you. Now that you know these tactics, will you still fall for them? Or does understanding the manipulation make you immune? Drop A if you'll still buy luxury, B if this changed your perspective. And hey, what other luxury marketing tricks do you want me to expose? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you got value from this, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell because we're just getting started. Speaking of luxury manipulation, in my next video I'm going to show you something wild. I bought a $200 bag and showed it to luxury experts, fashion influencers, and even sales associates at high-end boutiques. You won't believe how many thought it was real. The psychology behind why is absolutely fascinating. Until then, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and remember, you're already enough. See you in the next one.